Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Katelyn, and today we are doing a really fun Monster Mash fusion episode. So I haven't done one of these in a while where I did a D&D and Pokemon fusion. I feel the last one we did was that weird worm creature thing. I'll put it up in the info card if you haven't seen my old one. I think that's the last one we did, and maybe I only did one. Now I don't remember for sure. But either way, today we're going to be doing a D&D Pokemon fusion, and it's going to be completely random generated. Okay, so here on the left, we have a wonderful list that I stole from Jess Jackdaws. He makes awesome videos of like Pokemon D&D fusions, a lot of really cool Dungeons & Dragons creatures. Really recommend checking out his channel. I'll put it in the info card here as well. But I'm stealing his list and using it for today's fusion idea. Okay, so we have a list of Pokemon. We have up to 100 different Pokemon, and then D&D monsters, we have 100 different D&D monsters. So I have a D100 generator dice roller here on the right, and we're gonna basically roll it and see what two creatures we're gonna be combining today. So let's go ahead, we'll start with the Pokemon, all right? So let's go ahead and roll and see what we get. Okay, we got 86, which is Entei. Oh, I'm actually kind of excited about that. I love Entei. He's probably one of my favorite Pokemon. I was super obsessed with him when I was younger, so I'm pretty happy about that. Okay, and then let's go into the D&D monsters. So let's see what we get. 30 is a Manticore. Whoa. This is gonna be a really cool combo. I think this is gonna be really awesome because like they fit so well together and it was completely unintentional. So now we get to make basically a Manticore Entei. I think this is gonna be a really cool combo because like they already work so well together. They're already in the similar color palette. They already have a similar body structure, but now we get to make a really cool, like intense winged Entei basically. So I'm gonna grab a couple of reference photos from these guys, drop them into Photoshop, and we're gonna start sketching and figuring out what we want to do with this and see where we can take this creature. I think it's gonna be not like easy to combine, but they already are so similar that it's just they're gonna flow really well together. So let's jump in and get some of those sketches started. All right, it's time to jump in and get these rough sketches started so I can try to piece together what I wanna do for this creature. So like I said already, basically these two creatures have very similar body structures and feels. So I felt that the meshing of them just kind of worked so well, and it was just kind of easy to figure out exactly how I wanted to put them together. Since Entei has kind of like a lion dog body to it already, and then the Manticore obviously has a main larger lion body, I was like, oh, this will be great. I know one of the things that I went back and forth on was if I wanted to incorporate a human aspect to the face like the Manticore has, but I decided to just really lean into the Entei face so you could really make sure you knew when you looked at it, like, okay, that is Entei right there, and then just combine it with some of these really cool Manticore aspects like the wings and feet and tail. Okay, so we are done with the initial sketch of this combo, and I'm really liking it. Like I said, I thought these two would just fuse so well together since they're already very similar creatures, and I think it's turning out really awesome. Mentally though, when I was sketching this, I unintentionally kind of mimicked the Manticore pose from the D&D art, you know? It is what it is because I really like this pose, and I think it can show off a lot of the really cool aspects of this creature, but we kind of made it our own, you know? And so I had like different Entei parts sprinkled in everywhere, same with the Manticore parts. I knew the face was very telling that it's an Entei, so I didn't really want to mess up the face too much and change it a lot, because you want to be able to look at it and be like, yeah, that's an Entei. And then we took a couple of aspects and applied it to the Manticore parts, like these spiny fins on the side of the Entei. I thought would be cool if we mimicked at least the pattern within the wings. And then I also put it on the end of the tail. I thought that could look really cool to still have that spiked tail, but have it look more like the Pokemon fin spiked part. And then I kind of repurposed the bands that are on Entei, and I made them more like cuffs, as if this thing was tied up and chained to something and it had broken free. I thought that was a great way to repurpose those to also play in with the Manticore look. So I think we're gonna go ahead and move forward with this one. I really like how the sketch is looking, so let's jump in and get the line art and color going. I'll see you guys in a minute. So now it's time to get stuck in and really get this creature done, because man, we had a lot of details to go through with this one, because I wanted to make sure to have a lot of the aspects of both the creatures. For example, the Manticore, we got some really gnarly cool shark teeth, and it has all these spines all over its body, and I was like, all right, cool, we got this. let's just get in and get all this detailing done. So the line art did take quite a while just because I wanted to add a lot of detailing and different aspects of the creatures. Like I said, we had the spines and like all the hair that I had to put all over this thing. Like we had the Entei mane that we had to worry about, and kind of his, I guess, fuzzy, not even fuzzy paws, but the big tufts of hair that are around his feet. We had to worry about that. And then later on, I do add in the chains because I did not want to draw chains by hand because that is a nightmare. I never recommend drawing chains by hand. I've done it a few times when I'm really in a pinch, but I would recommend finding a brush and saving you a lot of time because chains are rough. I mean, if you really need to and you want to make it like super detailed and amazing, then yeah, go for it. Go ahead and draw those chains. But for me, I wanted to add them in later with the brush because I knew it was going to take a really long time. And slowly, as I was getting this line work done, it was really fun to see this creature come together because I was just really excited to work on this one in general because like I have said a million times in this video already, I really like Entei, but on top of it, just this combo was almost so perfect. Like if it wasn't recorded or like done live on Twitch, like I don't think anyone would have believed me because I feel like this was almost handpicked, just basically like, hey, these two are kind of similar in feel and look. Here's the perfect like combo for you to do. So I basically really lucked out on this one because I could have easily gotten something that would have been a little bit harder to combine, which is totally fine with me. Like I love having a good creature challenge, but it was also really fun to just have one that just worked and melded so well together. Like it was just really fun making a really crazy, intimidating, like creepy Entei. Like this feels like it could be from like my other series of where I take childhood things and make them Dark Souls villains. This feels like it could be almost to that, like a really creepy, crazy boss that maybe was like this giant winged lion dog thing is like chained up in this crazy cage. Like just imagine, like you enter this like maybe a cool lava volcano arena, like just imagine it with me, and maybe the games master is like slowly throwing these crazy, creepy creatures at you, and you need to keep defeating them, and you're like almost like a gladiator type of thing. And then finally he has this, like when they send out the lions to fight the gladiators idea, you have this giant winged Entei thing. That would be such a cool boss fight. Just imagine how cool that would be. So that's kind of like mentally what I was picturing with this thing, was just a really big, beefy, intimidating creature because I don't know, I'm thinking size-wise, God, I don't even remember what the Manticore is in D&D. I think it's a large creature. It's a pretty big one. I think it's the size of like a couple of the dragons. I could be wrong. I've never fought a Manticore in D&D, so I don't really have like a frame of reference to be like, oh yes, that time I fought a Manticore, it was the size of my party times 3. You know what I mean? So I would see this as like a huge beast. Like I could see maybe it being from like paw to shoulder, like maybe, I don't know, 3 6-foot men tall type of situation. Or like, a good example is there's the fire. God, I'm so bad at names for Monster Hunter because I haven't played in a bit, so I've forgotten everything apparently. But there's this large fire cat in Monster Hunter that it basically clicks its teeth and it makes explosions happen from like particles it leaves behind it. Just imagine that size creature is like the size of this one. It's a big creature, but it's not like overly huge. So maybe not 3 6-foot men. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think too. Like, so let's say this was a boss fight. I would love to hear if you guys have ideas for like attacks it would do, or special moves, or things you would have to keep in mind for its attack patterns. I'd love to hear it in the comments below. All right, guys, and we are all done with this piece, and I really love this combo. It was really fun to draw and render. It took me a couple of days, as you can see, with the change of shirt, but I had a blast creating this. I feel like the Manticore and Entei just worked so perfectly together. I think Entei is technically like a legendary dog, if I remember correctly, or I'm gonna get corrected in the comments. And then the Manticore is kind of like a giant lion-like creature, and they just kind of already merge well together. I mean, Entei, if it is a legendary dog or a legendary cat, either way, it kind of has a lion-like attribute to it already, and it just meshes so well with the Manticore in general. And I love Entei as well. Like, it was one of my favorite Pokemon when I was younger, so I was like, perfect opportunity to like use one of my favorites in a new mash. I really loved how this one turned out. If you guys like this series and like me doing these D&D Pokemon fusions, let me know in the comments down below. Hit the like button so I know what you guys are enjoying. And yeah, if you have other fun suggestions on 2 different franchises we could do similar mashes to, I would love to check it out. I know this one's a little bit easier because of the list that was already pre-made by Jess Jackdaw, but I would be totally fine with like kind of compiling our own list. So let me know in the comments below if you would love to see a similar fusion type of thing like this with other franchise creatures. But again, thank you guys so much for stopping by and checking out this video. And if you aren't already, please hit the subscribe button, join our little nerdy community of monster and dragon enthusiasts. And if you want to support me directly with this channel, I'd really appreciate it if you checked out my Patreon. You can get lots of different goodies every month, including sketch postcards that get sent to you in the mail, or you can get the artwork that I do on this channel at high resolution and at early access, so you can see what I'm making before the YouTube video even comes out. And there's a bunch of other goodies, so if you want to check it out, patreon.com/KMcCaigue, or the link here / in the info card. But either way, thanks again guys so much for stopping by, and I'll see you all next time. Bye everybody.